Hey guys, so we're on to a bit of a dreaded video here because I've never actually filmed a most disappointing books video before. I just generally don't want to say bad things about the books I've read. I feels a bit funny to do it, and I used to always just be like, yeah, well, it wasn't as good as that other book, but it's still alright. But these aren't books that I absolutely hated. These are just disappointing books. There is actually a couple on here that I still kind of enjoyed. It's just there was a really disappointing aspect to them that really annoyed me. So there is actually 12 books on this list. And that probably seems bad. Most people only have about 5 books in their videos, but I have 12 books. This is about 15% of all the books I read though, so really to have that many disappointing reads isn't that bad. I'll explain how much or little these books annoyed me, but just they disappointed me and they were sort of the worst books I read of the year. I'm excited to talk about it, I guess, because I've never done this before. Just a disclaimer, please don't hate me if these are some of your absolute favourite books. I just did not enjoy them or did not like them or was disappointed in them, and so I am sorry if this will offend you. Just know that everyone's allowed to have their own opinion, so if you don't like these books, don't yell at me, as I won't yell at you if you don't like books that I really like. So, further ado, let's get into it. I've got them in order that I read them throughout the year, so it's good because the first one is a very popular thing that I am kind of really sad to say that I did not like. And that is to say the Darker Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab, which consists of A Darker Shade of Magic and A Gathering of Shadows. I got this the wrong way, I put it in the right order. I've only read the first 2 books, but I just didn't like it, and I hate the fact that this one's so small and this one's so big, and I had to push through this second book, and I own the third book, and I do want to read it, but I just didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't care about the plot. It was so long and boring, and who cares? It's like such an interesting magic system, I think, and I definitely did like Kel's character in some aspects, but like Lila Bard, I did not like her. I thought the romance was okay, and I liked that there was diversity in this book, but again, it's not something I enjoyed, and I'm really excited to read, and I'm happy to see so many people love it, and it hyped it up for me, and then I just did not enjoy this. So this is the one that I feel like I might get like daggers for, but I am sorry that it's just not my thing. And the next book that disappointed me was Nerve by Janine Ryan, because it's literally people doing stupid shit for money. The movie was great. I absolutely loved the movie, so I wanted to try the book out to see if it was any better, and oh my god, it was just so stupid and completely different. Like, the movie did a really good job of having this truth or dare game, and this just didn't do it any justice at all, and really this is like one of those circumstances where the movie was better than the book for me, so I just was disappointed in this. Okay, the next book I've got here is The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye, but just saying, I gave this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. This was the one that I was really iffy about actually putting on this list, but like, I'm disappointed in this book for what she did to one of the characters and the way that the story actually happened, and I just wasn't invested. I was so annoyed with what happened to Nikolai that I just could not even connect with the characters anymore, and I still loved Vika, but again, it was disappointing to me for that aspect. But also, I read it at a time when I just did not feel like reading, so I was trying to read this and I was just disappointed, so I still gave it 4 stars because the story is still great and it's really cool, like Russian setting and everything, but just the outcome of the story, and I feel like it was really rushed, and there's a side character that I don't think needs to be in there, so this was a disappointment in that extent for me. The next book on my list is Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken. I mean, obviously this probably was going to make it on the list. I wasn't the biggest fan of Passenger, but I wanted to try Wayfarer, and oh my god, this was even more boring than the first book, and I thought it was going to pick up because the story was in an interesting place by the end of the first book, but like, the main characters did not see each other for the whole book. It was just boring and running around doing nothing, and I'm just like, nah. And so many people love this. It's such a thick book, and completely nothing like actually happens, so it disappointed me, and I'm trying to push through it, and I just do not care. I don't care what is happening, and I'm so glad this is only duology because I could not read anymore. I could not do it. I could not do it. The next book is probably going to be the book that I disliked the most this year, and that's Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. I had such high hopes. She wrote Divergent, which was an amazing dystopian series that took over everything, and then she brought out this book and it's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. The way people are treated in this book, what this cover shows, which is so absolutely disgusting, I think, that it adds this on the cover, but I just, I can't even talk about it. Like, just having to film a review for this because I anticipated it, and I feel bad for anticipating this, but I just can't. It's just, I just can't even. I'm not even going to read the sequel. Like, I can't. I don't care what happens to these characters. I just don't care, and I hate that it's just, it just annoys me so much that like this had to be written, and the author like who wrote Divergent has this tainted on her for me now. But yeah, I just do not recommend it all. The next book is Haunted by Alexandra Atornetto. I so wanted to like this and it disappoints me so much. The story was completely not how I pictured it being. It was completely different. The characters were doing all weird stuff. It was so immature and it just hurts how disappointing this was. The next book is Afterlife by Claudia Gray, and that's the same kind of concept because I read this series and I loved it, but I think I've grown out of the immaturity that are characters in some of the books I read this year because they're so jealous about everything, and it's like you have vampires and ghosts and all this crap attacking you, but you're worried that your boyfriend's obsessed with this person. Like, what is this? I don't get it. Characters need to grow up and just be able to do things, and it's just like, it's a literally life or death, and I don't understand how you can be just jealous and it being wanting text backs and just talking about things in such a weird way. And the writing wasn't as great as I remember, but Claudia Gray is one of my favorite authors, so I'm just disappointed in the immaturity of the characters in this book, so it was a bit of a like hard time getting through it. Next I have the Stormglass trilogy as a whole by Marie V. Schneider, which consists of Stormglass, Seaglass, Spyglass. I so wanted to enjoy this, and as a whole I just can't even. Like, the main thing is there is a character in here that gets redeemed when they absolutely should not have been because they are such sickos and done horrible behaviour, and it's so hard reading the series with them having a light shone on them for being like a god now, and I'm just like, ugh, no. So it just tainted the rest of this whole thing for me a bit because when this character was in there I'm just like, how do you even? But again, it was just, I felt like nothing really happened and the plot was really boring, and there was like, it just, my baby didn't get to be with the person he loved, and I'm just like, nah. But it's a whole series of you, and I'm just so glad I finished it and I never have to read it again or even think about these characters again because it was just stupid. And the last book is Runaway Airhead by Meg Cabot, and for this book it's the same reasons as like Afterlife by Claudia Gray. The characters are just so immature when it's life and death, and I'm like, literally, you just care about your boy toy and not the fact that there's people after you that want to kill you. Like, okay, that's just awesome. Like, every other book that has life or death, it makes sense that the characters cannot text you back in an instant. Like, every other book, it makes sense and it's a great story, but like these books, it just wasn't worth it, and I'm just like, oh my god. Like, I loved the first two books and it just went downhill for me. So here is the pile of disappointment. And just saying, I honestly didn't know I was going to be so passionate about like talking about why I didn't like these books. Hopefully that didn't come across as being really rude. Like, I am so glad that these authors didn't like take the time to write books, and even though I didn't like them, there's got to be a lot of people that did like these books, so I hope that they enjoyed them. It's just maybe my tastes were different than everyone else, but I feel like kind of like I was a bit too strong there. And there will be a favourite books of 2017 coming out soon so that we can get over the like hatefulness of the year and go to the loveliness of the year. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you'd enjoyed me bitching about books and all that, and again I will say it's the book content, it's not the authors. I love that they did what they did, but it's just what was written in the books that has got my issues here. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye!